Okay, so in this video, in this part of this message, this is the Atomic Success Secrets, and we have some guests right now, the Atomic Intensive people. It's the last one of a month of Monday and Thursday sessions. So I'll put links later and email you if you want to join us, because we do this healing every day, whether you join every day or not. It's available to you every day if you want. And I was thinking about this a lot lately as we went through this month, and because I'm like, okay, how do you help people get what they want? Like to get healed, basically to get healed. That's been my thing. I was talking to my wife this morning, and it's like we were talking about all the times I would just every month for 10 years, I was somewhere in the United States away from San Diego taking a class. And every time I went, it cost about $5,000 to go, because you had to get an airline flight and a hotel, a rental car back then, because there was no Uber kind of stuff. And then eat out, and I would take a 2, 3, 4 day class once, sometimes twice a month for 10 years. And I added up the money at one point of this was like 4 or 5 years ago. I added up the money, and I spent $750,000 on my training. 38 years of training. And I'm like, I was talking to my wife this morning, and I'm like, yeah, it's like for some reason I was just determined to figure out how to heal. And a lot of it was I wanted to heal myself, because I had that severe anxiety problem, the severe sweaty hand problem. In fact, that was the reason I started my physical therapy practice, because I was too much full of fear to go work for my mentor, because he would then see how much anxiety I had and how much my hands would sweat. And so I was like, I was so terrified of going to work for him. I was just living terrified. And I didn't look like it to some people. I was a physical therapist. I was making physical therapist money. I was running. I had friends, but I had this terrible thing I was trying to hide. People that ever shook my hand knew I wasn't hiding it very well. And but I was determined to find out how to heal. And I did. But I went through this whole process of learning how to work on hearts and livers and arteries and the big aorta and the big veins that go into the heart, and the kidneys, and all sorts of mental, emotional stuff. And I had this process called myofascial mapping to find where the physical problems are, where the mental problems, the emotional problems, the spiritual problems, to find out what age they came in at, to find out information about them. I could I didn't do this for people that didn't pay me money, because it was like, you got to have some kind of permission to go inside and see what's going on with somebody. You don't just go like asking subconscious questions to people that don't want you to. So I don't do that, but I got a lot of skills, and I got a lot of skills to do it at a distance, over the airwaves. And I had my friends and family from all over the place calling and saying, hey, so-and-so is in trouble. Can you do a session? And I would just go on my porch or go somewhere, and I would do a session and then check in, and they were healed up. Not always the way I wanted, but it's like I was on this mission to heal. And I was thinking this morning, and over the last month, especially with people coming into the Atomic Intensive of Monday and Thursday, I'm like just realizing people don't always go for it like I did. I don't know why. Maybe because it's like so intense to what I did, but what me and Ilya and Leslie and Katie Kavanaugh and even Katie McIntyre, we try to say, hey, here's what we see that's going on. Here's how to get your health back. Here's how to get the life you want, the business you want. Here's how to do stuff. And some people just don't do it. And I'm like, but you got to let go. Like, it's everybody's responsibility, and it's everybody's thing. They can do it and they cannot do it. And so I have to process that when I see people not doing, as Katie McIntyre says, not doing the dang thing. And I'm like, so as I was going along and with this month, I'm like, what's the best way to get people the help? The ones that say, yes, I want to really change this thing, kind of like me with my anxiety thing and my sweaty hand things. And just, and at that time, even getting a spouse, a girlfriend. I used to have this terrible, crazy problem of, I always had the cutest girlfriends, but they always cheated on me. Even my ex-wife cheated on me. And I'm like, wow, what is that? And so I solved whatever that was in there. And now I don't have that. I've got a great life, great family, great wife, great kids. And I get to do what I want to do. I'm living where I want to live. And there's still stuff I want to get. And part of it is to see, like, is this group a thing that gets people what they want, and do people want this thing? And, you know, when I see people lining up and coming into the group, it's like, yeah, they want this thing. This is awesome. And yet I see some people succeeding and some not. And so as I was thinking about all this month, I was thinking the best way to help people heal stuff and get going on the path that they really want to go on is one-on-one time. It just is the absolute best way. And the group is awesome because you could literally raise your hand, and if you're okay with doing it live with other people here, then you could have one-on-one time. And so one-on-one time is the absolute best way, because we got to find where you're stuck and then give you the energetic healing, but also the tools to go get unstuck and do what you're here to do. Now, there's sometimes so much pain from the past that people don't do the dang thing. They procrastinate. They're on their phone for 4 hours playing games. They're just clicking like and heart on Facebook. And it's like, and they're not doing the thing that would get them what they want, whether it's their health or their life. And so at that point, it's like, okay, they're protecting something that's very deep, that just saying, you know, they got the door of, like, here's the door to what you want. And they're saying, no, 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 not that door, anywhere else. I'll go check the phone. I'll go do this. I'll just sleep a little bit more. Maybe I'll have a couple extra drinks. You know, they'll do anything except go in that door. And so that's the dilemma. And so what we're going to do today is something that we go very, very deep with one-on-one clients. And if you haven't got a one-on-one session with me, you know, because you're part of the Atomic Intensive, or even if you're part of the group, you know, the main group that's always here, if you haven't had a one-on-one with me, we do one-on-ones. You can reach out to Ilya and Leslie and Katie Kavanaugh, and we can meet with you and see where are you stuck, and then get you your plan to start to do it. Now, I think the best thing at that point is to actually have some help one-on-one time, whether you join the group and you raise your hand, or you come in and work with me one-on-one if you can do that. I know some people can't do that, but that's the best way. So I'm going to do this process and start you on this thing, and then we're going to go do some healing, and then I'm going to just back off, because it's like, it's your call. It's your call. If you actually do the thing, if you do the things, you know, yeah, and test it out and see, is this working? If you got too much fear to do it, like for me, I had a chance to go work for my mentor in San Diego way back in the 1980s, and I didn't do the thing. I was like, no, I'm not going to go work for you. I don't want you to see how scared I really am. And so I started my own physical therapy practice. It turned out pretty good, but it's like, it was fear-based. So it's like, when you get to that door, there might be some inner stuff that really, really, really comes up, you know? Okay. So here goes. We're going to do this process, and then you'll have a standalone video, and you can do this again. And if you want me to go deep with this, this is a very powerful session we're going to do. I've had people tell me that, because I ask them, you know, what's been the most valuable part of this session when I do it one-on-one with people. And I've had people say, I didn't know I wanted to live until you did this session. Another one said, I didn't know I was going to be well until you did this session. And she did get well. And another one, an older guy, said, everybody should have this conversation at some point in their life. So we're going to do the beginning of that. The best way to do it is one-on-one. And Ilya and Leslie and Katie Kavanaugh and I can all do it with you. So it's that kind of like thing. You got to raise your hand if you want our help. So send us an email. I'm going to have Leslie and Ilya, I think they're on live, put their emails address in there, or their booking page. And Katie Kavanaugh, in the email I'll send you out later today, it'll have everybody's email address. Okay, so here we go. Oh. Okay, so think about if you could get anything you want, just for a moment, I know you've got a lot of you guys have done this sort of thing, but now you're doing it in a group, and it's very powerful in the group because energetically we've got a lot of access to infinite power right now. If you could get anything you want for your health, for your life, for your family, for your money, for your work, for your love, if you get anything you want, what might that be? So just go ahead and start to think about that. Just start loading it all up like a little list you're making, the Santa Claus list. That's right. And just make it as big as you can. And we're going to do this in a matrix energetics way also. And I'll explain that in a minute. And then notice yourself in that movie. So put yourself in that movie. Notice the shoes you're wearing. Notice the clothes you're wearing. Notice who you're around. Notice what's important to you. Notice what's priorities to you. Notice what's no longer priorities to you. Notice how you spend your day. Notice the speed you walk at. Ooh, notice the way you handle problems. And when you think about that life, what would that life do for you? So now start to just make your list in your mind's eye. Make your list of what having all of that would do for you. That's it. And what else would it do for you? How much space would you have in your day? Would you be aware of the day? Would you notice your life? Or would you be just in your head chit-chatting about stuff? And out of all that, getting all of that, what would be the absolute best part of that life? And why would that be the best part? Okay, so now that's your vision. And what you can do, if you like, is to every day visit that vision. Because it's like the Qigong masters say, where your mind goes, energy flows. So every so often throughout the day, you can just go right to that. There's a feeling there. And why is it the best? Why is what you get, what's the most important part of getting that? Why is that the most important part? That's your thing. And if it's a big enough thing, then perhaps you'll do the work. Perhaps you'll show up. Perhaps you'll take the actions when you get the guidance from the universe or God. If it's not a big enough thing, then yeah, you're not going to do it. But if it's worth it to you, then it's a big enough thing. And you'll do the stuff. Okay, now let that go. Put a little attention in your body and just notice what you feel. And notice the physical sensations in your body. So you've just thought of everything you want and why it's so important and what's the best part of getting that. And does it feel good in your body? It might. And so notice whatever you're noticing. For some of us, it might also not feel so good. Maybe there's also pressure in the chest, or something hurts in the gut, or your neck really hurts, or something in your back hurts. And it's like, well, hang on, I just thought of getting everything I want. It feels great, yet there might be something that doesn't feel so great in your body. So whatever that is, that's the stuff that's in the way. That's it. And that's what we do to heal things on the inside. That's what we do in this group. When you raise your hand, that's what I do with you one-on-one. If you're too, I get it. If it's like, no, I don't want to say this in public, that's okay. But if you can do it one-on-one, if you can do it with me, with Leslie, with Ilya, with Katie Kavanaugh, we can guide you to find the stuff that's in the way. And then there's this next part. You clear the stuff that's in the way, and then there's this dang thing to do. Like, oh my God, you mean I got to show up? I've got to go do something. I've got to go meet somebody. I've got to talk to somebody. I've got to do this thing in business or work, or I've actually got to do something. And so you got this action plan. And then if the thought of doing the dang thing brings up fear, you just keep procrastinating. You just keep trying to say, I'll just keep making it better and better and better, but I won't release it yet. Or whatever you're doing, I won't go on a date. I won't smile at that guy, or whatever it is that's like doing your dang thing. If the thought of actually doing it brings up some inner pain, you're going to feel it in your body. It's going to be a physical sensation. And whatever that is the stuff that we go heal. Now, there's another part of this. There's another part of this. Because some people, me included, you know, we want to fix things completely so that when we go do the dang thing, we don't have pain. We're not stressed. It doesn't push all of our buttons. And what I've experienced and what my clients have experienced is, it seems to me you don't get calm enough before you go do the thing. You don't get so much peace before you go launch a business or shoot a video or make an email or go meet somebody or go talk to somebody or go put yourself in a group of people that are richer than you are or more powerful than you, or whatever it is that's your thing. My experience is you won't be ready. It'll be scary. It'll be painful. It'll be like, freaking no way, man. And for the people that do it anyway, that's where the gold is. And then we heal the stuff on the inside as it shows up. But it's kind of like going to a little kid going to a race, you know, and being on the track in front of all the people. And they're not going to be comfortable the first time they do it. Maybe the first year they do it. It's going to be freaking scary. And maybe you haven't healed all the past, but it's like you'll never heal all the past enough to feel comfortable enough to go do the dang thing. That's my experience. Now, if we're working with you one-on-one and you're truly committed to getting what you say you want, then there's a way to keep working with you and go do the dang thing. Yeah. So as we do this stuff, you can start to see what could be slowing you down or standing in your way or stopping you. And one of the things is this inner pain, this mental anguish, this emotional pain, this spiritual pain, could be physical stuff that's just in the way. Ooh, and that's what we do to heal. So I'm going to turn off this part of the recording. You'll get the full recording too. And we'll go one-on-one. I'm going to spend, I'm going to get us started with this process and get everybody doing this as a group. And you can raise your hand and then really reach out to us and get some one-on-one time if you haven't got one-on-one time yet. Because we can point, here's your stuff. Here's what's in your way. And then for those of you that want to really do this in a big way, then it's like either join us in the group, daily, where you pop in whatever frequency you can, once a week, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week, and clear this inner stuff. You just have to have the willpower to log on at a certain time. I'm going to do it Monday and Wednesday. I'm going to do it Monday and Thursday, or I'm going to do it 5 days a week. It's at this time, and that's the only willpower I need. I just got to show up, and the other willpower is I got to raise my hand. And then the other willpower is I got to go do the dang thing when I'm off the call. And if you want big time help, then we can work with you one-on-one. So that's what we do. Okay, so here goes. Kati's recorder is joining us again. Thank you. There's Ilya's thing. I'll put my link in there if you think this is link. No, that's not. I see. Okay, here we go. So let me turn off this recording. There'll be links all over this recording for you.